What if I told you that one of history's most audacious heists was masterminded by a rebellious Italian teenager? Picture this: July 12, 1987, London's posh Knightsbridge district. A vault housing the fortunes of the elite is about to be cracked open. But how did we get here? Let's dive into the whirlwind tale of Valerio Viccei. Our story kicks off on January 16, 1972 in Ascoli Piceno, Italy. 17-year-old Valerio Viccei helps blow up a local TV station tower. The explosion echoes through the town, foreshadowing the chaos Valerio would unleash over the next 2 decades. Born into a respectable family, father and brother lawyers, mother a shopkeeper, Valerio seemed destined for a different path. But fate had other plans. The day after the TV tower incident, police arrest Valerio at home. Most would see prison as a wake-up call, not Valerio. He treats it like crime school, learning from seasoned criminals. By his release, he's no longer an inexperienced boy, but a budding criminal fascinated by theft and robbery. Valerio wastes no time putting his new skills to use. Valerio walks in cool as a cucumber, flashes his gun hidden by the newspaper, and walks out with a bag of cash. A friend waits on a motorbike for a quick getaway. Simple, effective, maddeningly hard to stop. Detective Jordy James later marvels at Valerio's boldness made him famous quickly. But fame in the criminal world is a double-edged sword. Soon Valerio's back behind bars. Yet even this setback becomes an opportunity. By his late 20s, he's graduated from petty thief to professional criminal. Returning to his hometown, Valerio finds he's now on the most wanted list. Every robbery, police knock on his door first. The pressure forces Valerio to pause and rethink. He realizes Italian authorities won't stop hunting him. Time for a change of scenery. First stop, Switzerland. Valerio opens a bank account far from Italian police's prying eyes. Using fake passports, he travels without suspicion. But it's London that becomes his new home. Valerio keeps a low profile at first, studying potential targets, banks, jewelry stores, anywhere with valuables. His patience pays off. Within a year, he robs 5 British banks. His technique, honed in Italy, proves even more effective in the UK, where bank guards are unarmed. Flush with cash, Valerio lives large. He settles in London's posh Maida Vale neighborhood. To neighbors, he's just another wealthy Italian, maybe a journalist learning English. Little do they know their charming new neighbor is one of Europe's most skilled thieves. But Valerio isn't satisfied. He's thinking bigger. His eyes are set on the Knightsbridge Safe Deposit Centre. This isn't just any vault. It's a fortress housing thousands of safe deposit boxes filled with elite Londoners' valuables. State-of-the-art security, automatic locks, bulletproof glass, constant video surveillance. For most thieves, an impossible target. For Valerio, the ultimate challenge. Valerio knows his usual smash and grab won't work here. He needs a new approach, so he crafts a persona, a successful businessman. He becomes a regular at the center, using each visit to study the layout, security, staff routines. He even befriends the center's manager, Parvez Latif. One evening, over dinner with Latif and his girlfriend Flavia, Valerio learns something crucial. Latif's facing financial troubles. It's the crack in the armor Valerio's been looking for. He gets closer to Flavia, using her to gather more info about Latif's situation. With all pieces in place, Valerio formulates his plan. He needs powerful tools to break into safe boxes and a secure place to stash the loot. Speed is crucial. They must crack the boxes and be out before security arrives at 5:30 a.m. Valerio recruits a team of crooks, offering them a small cut. After all, he plans to keep most of the spoils for himself. July 12, 1987, Heist Day arrives. Valerio and an accomplice, sharp-suited, enter the Knightsbridge Safe Deposit Centre. They introduce themselves to Latif as new clients. Latif, clueless, is delighted by potential new business. He assigns an employee to give a tour, showcasing the center's impressive security. As they reach the basement's secret rooms, the only area without cameras, Valerio strikes. He pulls a gun, threatening the employee. They proceed to the warehouse, where Valerio overpowers the guard. One by one, Valerio and his gang subdue the center's staff, taking control of the building. At 4 a.m., the real work begins. Valerio and his team have just over an hour to break into as many safe deposit boxes as possible. Metal clangs against metal as they frantically crack box after box. Time is their enemy now. As they prepare to leave, Valerio notices his finger bleeding. In the rush, he ignores it, a decision he'll regret. The gang fills their cars with loot-filled bags and vanishes into the night. By 5:30 a.m., when the security guard arrives for his shift, the damage is done. He finds staff tied up, the vault ransacked. The Knightsbridge Safe Deposit Centre has fallen victim to one of the largest heists in British history. Chaos ensues. Police swarm in. Investigators struggle to piece together what happened. They interview staff, including Latif, who plays his part convincingly. What investigators don't know, Latif arranged for new employees, ones who've never seen Valerio, to be the witnesses. The security cameras? Conveniently malfunctioning, Latif claims. News spreads like wildfire. Panic grips the center's clients. Wealthy individuals, even royals, rush to the scene, desperate to know if their valuables are among those stolen. The theft's magnitude becomes clear as more people report losses. Initially estimated at £2 million, the stolen goods value skyrockets as the investigation continues. Within 4 days it jumps to £40 million. Among the loot, a 22-carat diamond owned by the Mercedes-Benz controlling family, valued at £5 million alone. Police are under immense pressure to solve the case. They suspect an inside job but lack concrete evidence. Then, a break. A small bloody fingerprint at the scene. It's not much, but it's a start. They run it through their database. No match. But Interpol identifies it as belonging to an Italian national named Valerio Viccei. As police dig into Valerio's background, they uncover a life defined by risk and rebellion. They become convinced he had inside help, likely a female employee charmed by the wealthy, charismatic Italian. Meanwhile, Valerio lives it up. Instead of lying low, he flaunts his wealth. In a breathtakingly bold move, he even returns to Britain to pick up an expensive sports car he'd ordered. Detective Judy later remarks, he could have gone to Brazil and avoided arrest, but he kept coming and going, trying to provoke us. The net closes in. British police, armed with info from Italian counterparts, watch Valerio's known associates. They hire people to monitor his movements, waiting for a mistake. That mistake comes a month post-heist. A police officer spots Valerio leaving a luxury London hotel. An arrest warrant is immediately issued. As Valerio waits for an export license to take his new car to South America, the law finally catches up. During questioning, Valerio drops a bombshell. He admits Latif, the center's manager, was his inside man. Police are stunned. Investigator Khan later said, "We could hardly believe it. Latif was the last person we suspected given how he'd been talking to us detectives." Latif, under interrogation, confesses. He reveals Valerio approached him months before the heist, bluntly offering to rob the center in exchange for a cut. Latif, deep in financial trouble, had even increased his business insurance from £1 million to £3 million just months pre-robbery. Now a glaring red flag. In December 1992, sentences are handed down. Latif gets 18 years. Other gang members receive various terms. And Valerio, he's sentenced to 22 years. But the story doesn't end there. In custody, Valerio admits to 5 other unsolved English robberies. All told, he confesses to 54 robberies across Italy and England. During one interrogation, a detective asks what Valerio would have done if not caught. His chilling response: he'd have gone elsewhere, opened a bank account, and robbed that bank. The detective realizes it was only a matter of time before Valerio struck again. Valerio serves 4 years in England before transferring to Italy to complete his sentence. Despite his long criminal history, he's eventually released on condition he returns to prison nightly. He remains under surveillance with the threat of additional time for even minor infractions. In the end, British authorities nabbed one of the world's most dangerous thieves, a man who pulled off a £60 million heist. And it all came down to a single drop of blood, a fingerprint carelessly left behind. Valerio Viccei's tale is a reminder that truth often outdoes fiction. From reckless Italian teenager to mastermind of Britain's largest cash robbery, his journey straddles the line between genius and madness, ambition and destruction. As we close this chapter, we're left wondering what other audacious crimes might be unfolding right under our noses, just waiting to be discovered. In the high-stakes world of crime, it often takes just one small mistake, a drop of blood, a moment of overconfidence, to bring even the most elaborate plans crashing down.